Was amazing. Wow, wow. I just want to say, first of all, congratulations to Michelle on having a baby. That's so exciting, and 245 pounds down. And I love, love, love what Tammy said about um, health is your house. Like that just made so much sense to me. I'm assuming that that made a lot of sense to everyone else who was listening as well. 615 people were on that call. 615 people are now going to bed going, okay, the same way I do my dishes and clean my laundry, I 100% have to lead my health that way as well. So I loved it. So thank you. We could just end this call. Yeah, we could just end right now, but we're not going to. So let's see. Are we recording? Yes, we are. My name is Kathy Lalonde. I am very, very excited to be here this evening and to share with you. Let me share my screen real quick. And let's see. Oh, this is in the way. I gotta move this down a little. There we go. Hopefully. Oh, no, it's not a slideshow. Hold on. There we go. All right, so let's just get this party started. And I'm going to start with the OPTAVIA Income Disclosure Statement. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competency, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches. I'm just going to back up for 1 second and I'm just going to read this one part again, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competency, and leadership. And my friends, that is what we are going to be talking about tonight. So it is worth the work. I am Kathy Lalonde, and in just a few minutes, you get to hear from my cute husband, John. But I wanted to show you this picture first. And some of you are like, who is this girl? So let's talk about this girl. So I have 5 kids. This is my middle child. This is Molly. And when she was in middle school, she was, oh, and by the way, let me just tell you guys this. This picture is actually hanging. Oh, someone is coming off mute. So, oh, yep, they got it. So this picture is actually hanging in my basement. So let's talk about it for a minute. So when Molly was in high school, she said, or middle school, she said, I really want to run track and cross country. And we're like, well, go ahead. You have to work hard at it. So we bought her the shoes, we bought her the shorts, and she went out for cross country and track. And she was not the best. She was actually probably not very good at all. But she knew how to do one thing. She knew how to work hard. So her coach always said to us, oh my gosh, Molly works so hard. She's the first one to practice. She's the last one to leave. She's the one that does all the cleaning up. She's eating healthy. She's doing all kinds of crazy things. And the results of her hard work were that she got into a D1 school and she ran cross country and in college. And she took hard college classes at the same time. She still has records at the high school here that my grandkids are trying to now beat. But it was all because she worked hard. From there, she went on to, go to graduate school and she became an ER doctor. And sometime soon, she'll become an OPTAVIA coach and take after her big sister. The point of this is that she worked hard, and that hard work got her where she wanted to go. So it is worth the work. You guys, we have like this amazing, amazing, blow your mind opportunity coming to us right now. We all have the opportunity to earn a cruise in April. And to earn that cruise, we will start doing the work in June, July for the next 6 months. So is it worth the work? It is so much worth the work. I remember when I went on the cruise with OPTAVIA when they had their last cruise. And I'll tell you, my husband and I went. We didn't know anyone except my coaches, my husband and wife coaches, Rob and Nikki Evans, and no one else. And was it like the most amazing thing? Absolutely, it was. We got on this cruise ship, didn't know anyone, worked our butts off to get there. A lot of hard work. I don't know, the second month of the campaign, my coaches were like, "Hey, you know, you could probably win this trip if you worked hard at it." I was like, I think I'm going to work hard at it. And so it meant a lot of disappointment. A lot of times I did a health assessment where someone did not jump on plan with me. And then there were a lot of times someone jumped on and then they quit. But I did not. I learned that if I worked hard, it would pay off. So is the work worth it? My friends, it is worth it because when you earn, you don't win. When you earn this cruise, you will be with all OPTAVIA people on this boat. They will pour into you. When I was on the ship all those years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I don't even remember what it was, something amazingly cool happened. I got in the hot tub with, I lost my husband. I don't know where he went. And so I was by myself and I didn't know where my coaches were. And I was just all lonely. Oops, I'm off mute again. So I'm in the hot tub and this guy's in the hot tub and he seems like he knows what he's talking about. And so I say to him, like, tell me what it is, how do you be a good OPTAVIA coach? Tell me. And he's like, honestly, I'm like, yeah, tell me. I just want to know. He's like, honestly, you just got to love people well. So is it worth the work right now for you to work your fanny off to get to that cruise? Because when you get on that cruise, your mind is going to be blown even more. And it's just going to take your OPTAVIA business to heights that you never knew possible. So I would absolutely love to have my friend come off mute. Let me show you her picture really quick. This is my friend Susan, and I'm going to ask her to come off mute, and we're going to spotlight her in a second. But I wanted to talk about these pictures really quick. So, Susan's a newer coach, and I just want you to hear her story about is the work worth it? But I want you to look at this picture where her husband's like, yeah. Okay, I'm imagining in this picture, this is what he's saying. Yeah, OPTAVIA is amazing. The work is worth it. You got this. Go, go, go. So Susan, will you please come off mute and share?
I would love to. Thanks for asking me. That's a hilarious picture. um, so I just want to share a little bit about, how I think it's worth it to coach, and kind of chronologically, I'll organize this for you. So we'll kind of start with about 2.5 years ago. I decided to take control of my health when I saw a post on Facebook, like most people. So I started in February of 2021. Thought, okay, well, I started program, I should say, in February. 3 weeks later, had some friends that, wanted to jump on plan. So I have my coaches and Kathy and John saying, well, you got to coach them, they're your friends, how it goes. And I thought, well, okay, I want to help them, and maybe I'll make enough to, offset the cost of my food. So that's what I did. And then just kind of trusting my coaches. And a few weeks into it, had more people asking. So I thought, okay, yeah, I'll jump on board. I became a coach 3 weeks after I started my weight loss journey. And I ended up, 5 people came to me that month, and I said, okay, I'll help them. So by the end of the month, I was like, this is worth it. I'm paying for my food. I'm going to do this for free. And that was pretty exciting. And then, as it goes, more people kept asking. I kind of got hooked on helping people. I could say I got a little addicted to that. I mean, I think that's kind of in my nature. I love to just help people share in their victories, cheer them on. And I'm like, that's all this is. I mean, I was so grateful to be able to share in people's success stories. When I had clients that were losing weight and my friends were so excited, I was like, yeah, I'm all in this. So I reached my personal goal later that year in December. At that point, my husband said, okay, I think it works. I may jump on board too on this health program. So he did, and ended up losing 60 pounds. I had lost 82. So our lives really began to change, in the health sense. And so he also decided to jump on board and help me coach, because he had some guys asking him about plans. So we got to share in that together. And a month later, after he joined me, I reached executive director. And whoa, my coaches kept saying, that's a great milestone to hit. You're really going to be making some good income. You're going to be able to impact a lot of people. They were not kidding, folks. That's a great place to land. And so at that time I was making $2,000, roughly. My husband and I started to dream like, whoa, this is some serious income for us. And our dreamers kind of got awakened, as they say, and we started thinking, would it be crazy if like your income, my income, he's saying, would maybe cover our mortgage? And I thought, well, that's kind of, far out, but I just kept going. Went to convention last year for the first time in July, really caught the whole vision. And here's my plug for convention. You just got to go. But this is what it did for me. It really showed me the whole vision of the OPTAVIA company, and that it's really just about loving people to better health and better habits. And I'm like, I can do that. I mean, I almost felt guilty. They're paying me so much for just doing something so exciting, just helping people, loving them, encouraging them on. So convention was definitely worth the investment. Coaching was beginning to be very worth the investment in people. I made a commitment to myself. I made a goal at convention last year that I was going to take 90 days. I was going to get to FIBC, fully integrated business coach, in 90 days. Set up my structural tension chart, which is in the life book. And I was like, I'm going to do this. November 1st was my date. Did I make it? No. I worked hard, but I did not make it. I was crushed. I mean, I was really crushed. You can ask my husband. I was kind of a basket case for a while, but I just really believed. I was working so hard. I was doing all the things they said. I thought I was going to make it, and I didn't. 10 months later, rather than 3 months, I finally made FIBC for the first time, actually in May, just last month. So excited about that. I mean, I just kept doing the work, trusting my coaches, trusting the whole system and everything, went to all the trainings, kept working hard, and I finally made it. That's not the end, though. I mean, I have to keep working. I just still, like I said, I've kind of caught the bug of helping people, and I love it. I love it. So, was the hard work worth it to reach some of those smaller goals I had? Absolutely. I've also found that it's given me kind of a purpose, an identity. Not that I didn't have I felt like I didn't have a purpose. I mean, I feel like I'm valuable, but with my kids grown and out of the house, it gave me something that really created an avenue of something I could do and felt good about, and giving and serving to others. So I love that. Just real quick, I'll share at the end here some blessings that we have been able to experience because of the work being worth it. We are in the midst of paying cash for my daughter's college. Never thought that was possible. Thought we were going to have to do a lot in savings, but we've just grabbed that right out of my OPTAVIA account, and no worries when that tuition bill comes. Family vacations, home improvements, giving more. I love that part. They asked us at convention last year something about like, what do you want to be known for? I don't remember exactly, but one thing I put was to be an extravagant giver. Thank the Lord, for this opportunity that we can give, much more than we could have before. And that's awesome. And freedom that I can work anywhere, anytime, as long as I want, when I want. I'm my own boss, which I've learned, comes with the good and the bad. You have to be very self-disciplined to be your own boss. And that's a struggle sometimes, but I keep putting the work in. Totally trusting my coaches. I try to do everything they say, though I don't always do it well, but is it worth it? Yes. Coaching has been far, I mean, it's far exceeded what I ever thought it could be. And it's changed our lives, my husband and I, and all my children's lives as well. And I now understand what they meant in all those trainings when they say awaken your dreamer, because we're dreaming big. And our next big dream is to bring my husband home from his full-time job so he can join me and we can just do this long term and have a lot of freedoms to see the world and go places and be with our family and give extravagantly. So thanks so much for letting me share tonight.
I love it, Susan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was absolutely amazing. And I love the fact that she shared that she had a goal to hit FIBC and then she didn't. But because, we're going to fail more than we succeed. It's just how it works. And guess what? The more you work at it, the better it's going to get. So thank you for sharing. I'm going to flip this right over to my next speaker, who happens to be the hardest worker I know. So please welcome to the stage, Mr. John Lalonde.
Thanks, honey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How lucky am I that I get to call my boss honey? I tried that once at my first job when I was like 16. I was like, okay, honey. And that didn't go over so well. I got pulled into HR and that was a big mess. But tell you what, man, we've had some great speakers tonight. And congratulations to Michelle on her baby. That is just super, super, super awesome. Susan, you are a joy to coach. Kathy gave me 32 seconds. I think I'm going to stretch it to 36. So I'm going to get going. I just want to share a quick story. So if you have your cell phone and you're looking at it, put it down. If you got Netflix playing it, turn it off. If you're watching, if you're just give me 32 seconds. I promise, I hope it'll be worth it. Hopefully at the end, what I'm saying, I want someone to say, man, if that dummy can do it, honey, I think we got a chance. I think we can do it. So almost a year ago, it's coming up on July, a year ago, I was working for a company, 25 years in this field. I did very well in it. And one morning, the boss pulled us all together and said, well, I'm retiring, I'm selling. Tomorrow, the new company's coming in and you guys need to work for them if you want. In normal, I was just like, I need to go find a job. I got to go find a job. I got to go find a job. Started calling people I knew in the industry, started to try to find a job. And after about 3 weeks of that, Kathy and I finally woke up one morning and it kind of struck me that I don't need to go find a job. That my wife, my awesome wife, my beautiful wife, had a cool little side hustle that she created, a little side gig, and she was bringing home enough money to where I didn't have to find a job. So at 55 years old, technically I could come home and retire and sit on the couch, watch TV, jam Netflix, play golf, float in the pool, and do a bunch of other things that I well deserved. After all, I had provided for 25 years. I was due. I mean, I'm talking, I was ready to just come home and do all that stuff. But reality snuck in. I came home, and at that point, I had been part-time coaching with Kathy for maybe 6 months, 8 months, something like that. So I kind of understood the OPTAVIA business. And it was also our goal at that point to sometime down the road for me to come home. And in my mind, it was maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So quite frankly, that was sped up and it took us out of our comfort zone. And it really just forced our hand. And I liked that because I knew one day Kathy raised her hand. She said, I want to make as much money as my husband does. And I said, that's great, honey, go get him. And when she said that and throughout that, I was like, well, when you make as much money as I do, I'm going to keep working. Why would I quit work? And because I like what I do. But long story short, came home and I did not sit on the couch. I dove in the pool. It was freezing cold. Dove down to the bottom and started swimming, started working. The one thing that I knew how to do was work. And really the way that I looked at it for 25 years prior, I'd given a company, two companies, 25 years of my life, 10 to 12 hours per day in exchange for a paycheck, but I gave them 10 to 12 hours per day to pursue their dreams and to help build their dreams. And it was our time to build our dreams. So it was time to go to work. So jumped in, and what did that look like? I immediately said, I gotta start really working hard on my social media. So I started doing 3 power hours a day, which really focused on the power hour activities, but also really focused on agency complementing. And I said, I'm going to do this for 100 days and see what happens. And that definitely shook up the business. It got a lot of activity. Long story short, 6 months later, it's hard to believe 6 months later is right about now. I haven't been fired. She hasn't pulled me in for any employee reviews. I haven't had to go to HR, kidding. I haven't got any pay raises from, in fact, I have not collected a check yet. So I don't know who to speak to about that. But, if Gina, if you have somebody, let me know. Maybe Dr. A can help me. But here's the bottom line. Is it worth it? That's the question we all started with. Is it worth it? Answer is yes. Yes, it's worth it. Has it been a big adjustment for me to come home after 25 years of leaving? Absolutely, it has. There's been times where I've been doing stuff around the house on a Tuesday afternoon, we'll say at 2 o'clock, and all of a sudden it's like I get shell shocked. I go, what am I doing? I got to get back to the office. They're going to find out I'm gone. And then I just snap back in reality and go, geez, I don't have to. But the funny part is I jumped on program when I was 50 years old because I looked at it and I bought into the American dream. I said, you know something, I'm going to have to work until I'm 67 or at least 72 before I can retire. In my current health net situation, I didn't believe was going to get me there. If I would have known 5 years ago that I would have got healthy, got to my BMI and retired and come home and spend 24/7 with the person that I love, you're going to be like the 5 people you hang with. I didn't want to hang with those other people anymore. I only want to hang with one person, and I get to call her my boss. We get to do everything together. So showing up, though, is a must. In all seriousness, I couldn't come home and sit on the couch. I couldn't come home and play golf. In fact, I pulled back my golf. I pulled back some volunteering. I pulled back doing some other things for a short time, and that short time may be 3 years. That short time might be 5 years. But when I want to play golf, I'll play golf. But right now, I've decided to quit my golf leagues. I've decided to do a few things like that to work and plug in and try to build a strong foundation. And quite frankly, to try to add to the foundation that Kathy's already developed. She already had a global business. She let me in to her global business. It wasn't like I came in and said, let's go global. The girl was already there. She's a rock star. She just said, come on in, sharpen my pencils, and keep my paper clips straight. That's what she did. But long story short, you have to show up. You have to do the work. I want to close by saying this. It takes one movement to change your whole trajectory, good or bad. It takes one movement in your life to change your whole trajectory. You're here, you're on this call, you're a health coach, or you're looking to be a health coach. Don't think that's by mistake. Don't for one reason, one simple moment, think that that's by mistake. Don't think you're here by mistake. Understand you're here for a reason. You're worth it. Your family's worth it. Your kids are worth it. Your spouse are worth it. Your grandkids are worth it. Their kids that you haven't even met yet are worth it. Be the person that upsets the apple cart in your family. Be the person that creates generational wealth. Be the person that creates generational wealth for your grandkids' kids. One day they're sitting at the beach house that you left and going, who bought this place? I heard they're pretty cool. That's what we want to do. So thank you guys. I love y'all, and we'll see y'all at convention.
And so one thing that John did not talk about, and I just wanted to talk about this, is that, he's learning how to fly an airplane. So he's learning how to fly an airplane so he can buy an airplane, so we can do fun stuff on an airplane. So I just wanted to share that is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. Dream big, my friends. Dream big. So let's talk about how you get there. So you got to map it out. You got to clean off your desk. You got to get some sticky notes. Something's got to give. What does it take? First of all, it takes hard work. You know what Webster says hard work is? It is a great deal of effort. It takes diligence. You know what diligence is? It's energetic effort. It's do it anyways. How about skill? Skill is probably my most favorite one on here, because here's the thing. It's the ability to do something, and you can be taught. You don't have to come into OPTAVIA and know how to do everything. You can develop the skills. Persistence. You have to be firm and be in action, because this takes massive action. Competency. That's the ability to do something successfully. And here's the thing, if you are learning all of these other things, how to work hard, how to be diligent, skill, persistence, the competency comes. And as the competency comes, so does the confidence. And when you get the confidence, it's then time to just pass right on. Even when you don't have the confidence, you're going to have a massive amount of people who are following your lead, and you become the leader of leaders. Leading others, just turn around and help someone else get what they want. So let's break it down just one more time. You got to do the work. Here's the very first thing you do. You have to get into massive action. I'm not saying, you guys, you have to go work 700 hours a day. Although, I would if I could, because this is so much fun. But you have to do the work. Number one thing you have to do is lead with your own health. Oh, and I know I'm sounding very direct, so let me just say this first. You don't have to do this. You can do whatever you want. This is just what I did. I just turned around and followed what everyone else was doing and said, they're pretty successful at this. I want what they have. Here's what I'm going to do. So lead with your own health first. That is number one. Then go right to social media. Do the power hours, A to Z commenting, adding friends, all those activities, client support. You got to call your clients. You got to celebrate your clients. And when you call them and when you celebrate them, you know what happens next? You build a relationship with them. And when you build a relationship with them, guess what goes next? They want to become a coach. And then you're just transferring the skills to them, and you're encouraging them, and you're checking on them to make sure that they have the skills. Then you're going to the trainings, the Tuesday night trainings. If you ever get invited to a boot camp, go. Don't miss it. They're absolutely amazing. And then let's talk about convention. You guys, I was the person who registered for convention last minute the first time around. 100% last minute. I finally, I didn't want to spend the money. I didn't want to spend the money. But then I realized this is not an expense. This is me investing in myself. So I went to convention late. I registered last minute. I had to pay the biggest fee. And then I had to stay in the hotel room that was the farthest away. And it rocked my world. So if you're thinking to yourselves, hey man, I haven't signed up for a convention. I don't know. It's going to be expensive. How am I going to do this? Whatever. Find a way. Find a way to go, because it will change your world. A couple of things that I remember about maybe my first or my second convention. I remember my coaches going up on stage. And when they went up on stage, I was freaking out excited. I went like running down the hall to the front of the stage because I wanted to celebrate the fact that my coaches are up on the stage. And when I got up there, I looked to my right, and you know who I saw? I saw Gina Echols freaking out that my coaches were walking across the stage. So I just want to encourage you, and I just want to say, if you have not registered, this is an opportunity for you to see that it is worth the work. Register, go, it will rock your world. 2 more things I want to tell you. Are you willing to do the work? You have to be willing to do the work. I heard Michelle Heyman say this once, and I'm not going to give it justice because she's like so awesome. But she said, people would say to her, oh, you were lucky. You got into OPTAVIA at the right time. You had the right partners and all that kind of stuff. And I remember her telling me, or I think she told all of us, it was on a call, that Dan Bell had a conversation with her. And he said, you're not lucky. You're lucky. You're not lazy. That's where it all starts. I'm not telling you got to work 12 hours a day. You know what I did today? I got up this morning at the crack of dawn and did a power hour before anyone else. Why? Because I knew I was going to drive an hour and go to the doctor with my pregnant daughter to listen to that baby's heartbeat today. So I had to fit the work in at other times to do some of the fun things too. So are you willing to not be lazy? Are you willing to do the work? You guys are amazing. Thanks for coming to this call and investing in yourselves. We'll see you at convention.